Hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of Let's Build an Egyptian City. So like we talked about in the last episode, there's going to be a lot of changes. Now I've spent a few days before I went away on holiday and I've been doing the last day and a half since I've come back trying to get this to work with World Painter, but I cannot seem to figure it out. So what happens is when I import the map into World Painter, all the mod blocks disappear, and I have extended block IDs checked, but it won't let me check that until after I've imported it, even when I've tried like creating a new map and then importing it when the extended block IDs was there, and it's not really worked. And I've tried doing it with a merge and it messed up, so I might try it again when I have a bit more time. But I just kind of want to get this recording. I want to get going. I want to feel like we're not on hold forever. So we're probably going to just forget about doing it with World Painter and just sort of edit the terrain as and when we come to it. So a lot of this needs to be flattened out. We're going to be building the sand dunes by hand. The hardest, well, I say hardest, the longest, like most time consuming section is going to be, wrong button, there we go, is going to be expanding the river, because I definitely want this to be sort of 30 blocks across, like maximum. Like especially for this bit here, it's going to be from that cliffy bit to this cliffy bit. That's how big the river is going to be, and it's probably going to be roughly that size. And we're going to expand out the grassy areas and flatten the terrain so that it's at least closer to the river. It's going to be quite flat, you know, because flooding and stuff like that in the Nile is what happened. But what we're going to get on is laying out the foundations for the city walls, and we're only going to do sort of from like half of it where the port side would be. So we're going to do like the main gatehouse going out to the Egyptian city, and we're going to do a smaller gatehouse going out to the lighthouse, and we're going to have a wall running along the whole length of the dock. And I don't want it to do it like right on the edge. Like I see a lot of builds do that where they have like the castle wall would be right here and the docks would be built onto it, but that kind of isn't what I want to go for. So we're going to do quite a few blocks inwards. Let me just fill this up. So hopefully that makes sense. That gives you guys an understanding of what we're going to be doing on the next 2 to 3 episodes. Don't want to be spending loads of time on it. Once we've sort of figured out a style for, you know, a section of wall, a tower, and the gatehouse, then I can just build all of that off camera, because you don't need to see me do that multiple times over. So, like I said, it should only be 2, maybe 3 episodes just doing these walls, and then we can get onto the docks and attempt some shipbuilding. So, let's see. We'll get a trusty wall. This is going to be a most planning episode. A most planning episode? Yeah, this is going to be mostly a planning episode. I think having a tower here would be nice. So we can flatten out all of this hill here. And this is a little bit big, this hill. Didn't realise it was this big. Probably could have just used World Edit for this. Which might actually be a useful idea of getting a sphere, not a sphere, a cylinder brush. And stuff like that. Right, okay, so we want a tower here. Now, do we want round towers, or do we want square towers, or what do we want? I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking it would be better, like more, I suppose we could have one there and then we can have one over here. So we're going to be having a tower here, and actually we're just going to be roughly marking out this area, so we can just do something like that. We don't have to be exact with the walls, but we're just sort of getting an idea of how big the city is going to be. So that's going to be there. I'm going to use a different colour for the walls. Let's go for light blue. So we're going to have a wall that sort of comes along here like so. And around about here, I want it quite close there. We're going to be having this big main gate and entrance. So it's going to be sort of filling up this area here. Something like that. So we're going to have a big gate entrance there, and the wall's probably going to expand out that way and then come round in a sort of warped rectangular shape. Is what I'm going to go for. So it's not going to be exactly straight lines and rectangular, but it's going to be a warped sort of almost an oval, I guess, but it's going to be, you know, that size and shape. Now I did say we don't want to go too close to the edge here, so let's cut this back a little bit. Probably, I'd say here looks about right. I'm going to have another big tower here. And like I said, I'm not being exact with dimensions or anything. I just want to get these plans sort of worked out, then we can build that gatehouse, that tower, and that section of wall together in the next episode, and then I can just do all of it off camera, I suppose. And we need to work out how many walls we actually, towers we want along the wall. So I think every 30-ish blocks would be good. So that's, let's say that's roughly 4, 8, that's maybe 10, that's maybe another 10, and so probably, yeah, this seems actually like a really good spot for a tower. So we're gonna have another one here, like in that area. Maybe have like a larger tower, maybe, or we could have like a section of the wall that's sort of larger than it should be. So that sticks out quite a bit, and I was constantly saying, wasn't I, about we don't want it to be dead close. I'm probably going to cut this cliff back a little bit. I'm going to have the docks sort of attached to this cliff, so we can bring this out from about here along in this direction. And again, after about 30-ish or so blocks, we're going to have another tower. And actually, we could have the gate for the docks here, so we can have a nice big fancy gate taking up that sort of space. And if you guys have any ideas, or you think that I'm building too close to the edge, which I kind of think I might be, I think, especially that gate, I was thinking, you know, it should maybe be about here. That might change, but like I said, just getting a rough idea. If you guys have any inspiration, the best way to get a hold of me is probably on Twitter. I've been quite active on Twitter recently, so just tweet me, Cerulean Capuchin, because I couldn't fit Capuchin, which was really annoying. I have another tower there, and yeah, so if you guys have any questions, you want to show me something cool that you've built, or you just want to give me some inspiration, or you just basically just want to say hi, something, Twitter is probably the way to follow me then to do that sort of stuff. We can have another tower here. We've got quite a few towers there. So we've got gatehouse 1, 2, gatehouse 1, 2, probably another one, and a gatehouse is going to be over there. Okay, so this is not too bad. We've got plenty of space for inside the city, which is what we want. This is going to be a huge city. Let's carry this wall on a little bit more like this, and we could probably add in a smaller side gate as well. I think maybe down at this end, I feel like that might be cool to have. So we could have like a small gate, something like that, and then this brings round. We want a tower quite close to that gate because that's going to be a weakened part of the city if somebody's attacking, although they've kind of got to get past the main shipping area and get to this, so it's slightly defensible. But yeah, and then we can go in this direction, and we're going to have a huge gateway again, because this is going to be leading off into the Egyptian city. So this can be, seems about right, and we can have a big gatehouse here. Now I'm not going to decide on the walls for the other side because we might need space for expanding the city. So what I'm going to do instead is just stop here. So we've got our gatehouse, we've got our walls and stuff planned out roughly, and hopefully we can get all of this in view so you get a sense of the scale that we are working with. Yeah, so you can just about see it in the distance. There is one gatehouse and there is another gatehouse, so we've got plenty of space to be working with inside the city, and we're going to have some temples and stuff like that working around, and it's roughly going to be out to about there where the stopped rendering in. That's roughly where we're going to be aiming for, with like sort of the height of the city, and then coming back down and then down there, and this is going to be fairly square off in that direction, like so. But like I said, I don't want to go too far out there because I don't want to make the city too big or too small, so we can start building the city, and then once it's almost finished, that's when we can start building the extra sections of the walls and stuff. And we will be getting onto the Egyptian. This is going to be a mix between Egyptian and Greek stuff in this city, and the main Egyptian city is going to be built a lot further down there, and we're going to end up having what's the word? We end up having pyramids and sphinxes and all that kind of stuff over in the other city. This city is going to be mostly Greek dominated, but I think this is kind of a cool way to get styles in one series. So hopefully you guys like the plan and you know what's happening. Right, for the rest of this episode, I think I might just build up these sections here, and actually no, I think I'll just end this episode here. It'll be a nice short episode, just giving you guys a sort of an understanding of what's happening. Like I said, I really just wanted to get this episode out and get it going because I've been off for 2 weeks with being in Tenerife, and now I'm back and I just can't wait to get building. So yeah, this will be the end of the episode here, guys. The next episode, which I'm probably going to record straight after this one, is going to be building up this gatehouse area here and building up that section of wall and that tower. And once we've got that in place, I can just do the rest off camera, doing all the walls, because that's going to be very repetitive and you guys don't really want to see me doing that again. Maybe I'll do the central port gatehouse because that's going to be quite different, and then we'll do the port after that. So we are going to be hopefully advancing quickly with this series. So rather than me spending, probably would end up taking 10 episodes just to build all of this wall, we're going to get it done in 2. That's what I'm aiming for. So that was it, guys, for the episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and comment if you've got any information or you've got any ideas for me. Apart from that, I will see you guys in the next one.